Good day everyone, so I want you to pay attention to what you see on screen. So here you can see we've got a C6 Yelan, and there is something interesting that I want you to notice, and it's going to become really relevant. So look at what's happening. We're just sort of running a little taser with little Klee. It's kind of fun and so on. But look at what happens now with Yelan. She groups up all the enemies and she does a massive amount of AOE damage just like that. And this is the big key word, AOE damage. Now, you might say, look, at C6, Yelan's obviously different, and I agree. I mean, obviously most characters change quite a lot, but it had me thinking, what if Yelan is actually not that different at C6 than she is at C0? What if at C0 she's actually got a fantastic untapped potential as a great sort of AoE character? And to this, I thought, well, let's go onto my alternative account, you know, the typical C0 Favonius Warbow, sort of like Yelan, and let's just see whether this still holds true. So we're going to do the exact same thing. You can see this sort of team comp is way more specialized for AoE, like I explained in the previous video. So yeah, we're just sort of hitting all the enemies, and look what happens now. We've taken care of them, and here's Yelan. She wraps them all up, hits them again, all in an AoE, and there we go, another AoE on her elemental burst. So this really got me thinking. This is something that Xingqiu cannot do. And even at C0, you can see the reason that Yelan can do this is because of her breakthrough barb and her E ability being so completely different to anything that's in Xingqiu's kit. And this is something a lot of people don't really acknowledge. Her ability to use a breakthrough barb, I think, is very underutilized by a lot of people. It is such a good sort of instant source of damage. You can very quickly vaporize. I think you can easily do a pop and a quick 50k vaporize on it and so on. It's the same with her E. You can see I've got two Primavera Vishaps here. Even if they separate out, if I've got Pyro applied, you zip through them very quickly with Yelan and quickly vaporize whilst the rest of your team is off cooldown. This is not something you can do as easily with Xingqiu, and it does sort of speak to the fundamental differences. I think the focus a lot of people have is just the elemental burst, but once you really just take the elemental burst out of the equation, you can see she actually offers way more. And in fact, her elemental burst also does like quite a bit of AoE. You'll see in just a bit of a short moment right here. This is what we're going to do with Yelan. Just bam, look at that. We applied lots of Hydro in an AoE and we triggered so many reactions. Everything is dead. And this is not C6 or anything. This is plain C0 and so on. And this is exactly why Yelan is not just another Xingqiu or like a variation of it. She's a completely different character. And for me, it's just so obvious. It just feels different. It's just like I wouldn't play her like I would play Xingqiu. And I think the people that do play her like Xingqiu are the ones that are solely focused on this sort of single target only scenario. And Yelan can do exactly what Xingqiu does, but she offers the AoE even more. So in my opinion, she's just like way more worth it. But yeah, that's just sort of what I wanted to say. Yelan's got definitely different tools and different ways of using those tools, and it is so much fun. It's so different. It's so dynamic. It's one of the best characters they've released so far. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.